Let's have a look at a new technology that Angular 2 implements, the Shadow DOM. For some of you, this technology might be new. However, for others, the Shadow DOM might be a little bit obscure. So I will show you how to implement it into your applications. Basically, using Shadow DOMs is simply creating components that will have their own style isolated. So here I'm in my index.html. I'm just going to create some generic style for input. I'm going to change this background color, set it to red, and we go to close this style. As you can see, this style is gonna leak into every component here, for example. So we're going to create our new component that we use the Shadow DOM. In Oscar ceremony, we create a new folder. We name it shadow-comp. We create a file that we name shadow-comp.ts. Here we go. So this is gonna be imported into our Oscar ceremony. So shadow comp from /shadow-comp /shadow-comp. Here we go. So basically, this shadow component is gonna be a component. So just empty components that you create. We are gonna need view encapsulation that will help us to generate our shadow DOM. The selector is gonna be shadow comp. The template is gonna be more simple than that. We only need something like an input type text. So this input will be affected, of course, for now by the style. We export our class and we name it shadow comp. So that's the basic. We need to do one last thing before that, is to call view encapsulation with encapsulation. Encapsulation, here we go. Then we're gonna use view encapsulation dot none. This is the value by default, which means that we're not using the Shadow DOM for now. We need to implement it into our Oscar ceremony. Here we called it shadow comp. Here we go. Shadow comp. Perfect. So now we go to Oscar ceremony. We go to directive here and we just add our shadow component. So now that we integrate it, here we go. With the results, we can see that our component here is affected by the style. That's totally normal, because that's how it's supposed to work in general. So we're gonna go to our shadow component and we're going to create its own styles. So styles is gonna be an array, because that's how Angular 2 guys decided. You can put here your style. So back, here we go. So we're gonna affect the input. Very simple, just a background dash color green, and that's it. As you can see, we just added a new style for our component. However, as you can see, this style gets propagated into our applications. And this is messy, not to play around. So all you need to do is just to say this is gonna be native, and native means that you're applicating your Shadow DOM. So as you can see, this is only green for our component here, and it's not touching other components in the application. So why do we start with native? because I'm using Chrome, which is awesome, and this works only with browsers that understand Shadow DOM. So for example, with Internet Explorer, you're gonna need to use emulated. That's not the same, but it works. It works. So the difference between native and emulated is in the DOM. So let's have a look at native. Reloading. Here we go. All we need to do is just to go here, view the component, have a look at this element. As you can see here, there's a shadow root. Basically, to sum it up, the shadow root will just create and isolate your component with its own style and its own content, input type text. So this is only for browsers like Chrome or Opera that are up to date. If you are using browsers like Internet Explorers, you should use emulated, otherwise you're quite fucked, I would say. So what is the difference between emulated and native is that there's no shadow root, it's simply CSS. So you got your shadow component here, and as you can see, it's gonna emulate by creating new attributes on your DOM. So you got your ng content web type web5 here, and this will be used in order to get this tag and set a style for this tag and this tag only. It's a little bit like creating a new ID for your tag, but instead of you doing this manually, the browser is going to emulate it and create it just like that. So this ng content web5 will be available in the head here, in the style, that's gonna be, here we go. This is quite ugly, to be honest, but it's emulated and it works. So you got input, and if the input got this attribute, it's gonna have this background color green. So basically that's how the Shadow DOM works with Angular 2.